Hello, everyone. Rhonda Pierce here, and I'm in Chicago. And welcome. We had a few early birds today, and I'm delighted to see you here. And yes, I have a little bit different format here today, so we can see some of the comments, I think. Let me just click this here. Um, okay. Um, yeah, so it seems like every month there's a different format, something new for me to learn, but hopefully you can see and hear me just fine. So my name is Rhonda Pierce. I love to sew, I love to quilt, and I'm delighted that you're here today. Maybe you're from the East Coast, the West Coast, North or South, or somewhere in between or beyond. Welcome to our sewing community. So as you come on, please tell us where you're from. And if you feel like it, tell us what you're sewing. We're always curious, and you never know, you just might inspire someone else to try a new project. And I see Jennifer just posted that she's going to try sewing a 3D printed fabric bag. Well, that sounds really interesting and different. Patty's here from Fort Wayne. We've got, Suzanne from New Hampton. Hello there, Suzanne. We've got Vicky from Iowa. Kinsey's making a Christmas stocking in Missouri. Well, I'm assuming it's a Christmas stocking because 'tis the season, right? All right, Jennifer from St. Louis. Jane from, let's see, Jane, if I can actually say this. Mississauga, Ontario. So I've been there many times. I have many sewing friends there in Mississauga, I think is the proper pronunciation. I might be a little bit off, but I know where you are, near Toronto. So welcome. June is from Western New York. She's got quite a few quilt projects going on. Jennifer says she's in between projects with no UFOs. Now, how unusual is that? No UFOs. I know that doesn't apply to me. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, we've got people from Texas, from Iowa, etc. Fantastic. So last month I asked, when do you plan to do your holiday shopping? Because, well, in September, I got an email from a marketing company that said, 86% of shoppers are waiting until November and December to do the bulk of their holiday shopping. So I was just curious. And you know what? You came right through, and lots of you had answers. There was no right or wrong answer, but I was just curious. And about a third of you said that you were done with your holiday shopping already. Isn't that amazing? Another third said that you've been shopping throughout the year. And the remaining third said that you're starting your holiday shopping after Thanksgiving. So I don't know. Where do you fall in that spectrum? To tell you the truth, I have only one more Christmas or holiday gift to find for this year. Otherwise, I'm done because I pretty much shop throughout the year and really gear up after Labor Day weekend. So I'm pretty much done except for one gift. And that was the mystery question last month. The question was, when do you do your holiday shopping? And Brenda Snyder from Ocklackney, Georgia, was our winner. So Brenda said that she does her holiday shopping throughout the year and sometimes even forgets what she picked up for the people on her holiday list. So Brenda sent a nice thank you note. So thank you very much for that. Always appreciate that. So if you are interested in winning this month's giveaway, you have to answer the mystery question. And what is the mystery question? The mystery question is, how old is your sewing machine or your machines? There is no right or wrong answer, but just curious. How old Is your sewing machine, your serger, or your machine embroidery, or your embroidery machine? So just curious. And the reason why I asked that is because a few weeks ago, I took my original machine in for servicing. It worked just fine, but generally around Thanksgiving, I take it in for just general maintenance. And you know what? I found the original receipt from 1986. 1986. It was the first major purchase I made after college. I worked for Vogue Butterick Patterns in New York City, and my first major purchase was a Bernina 910 heavy duty mechanical sewing machine. Still had the credit card receipt. And the business card of Shirley Moore was the owner. I bought it in Baltimore because my aunt and uncle lived in Baltimore, and I would oftentimes take Amtrak from New York to Baltimore to visit for a weekend. And we went to the fabric store, and I bought my Bernina 910, and I took it back to New York City on Amtrak. So you know what? That's a well-traveled machine because I've moved a few times and the machine has always gone with me. And you know what? Even today, my Bernina 910 works. So I just take it in for service. So again, to win today's random giveaway in the chat, if you're on Facebook or Restream or YouTube, go ahead and just type in how old is your sewing machine or your machines, your sergers, or your embroidery machines. We're just curious. All right. So as you can see, I'm here in the Chicago office. But I got back last week. I was in Florida, in beautiful Bonita Springs, Florida. Flash Sew and Quilting had a 2.5 day event, and I gave 5 in-person classes. And I have to say, it was a beautiful event. And the hotel, which was a resort, was beautiful also. But you know what? We were so busy, I didn't even see the swimming pool. I didn't see the lazy river, and I just didn't even leave the property. So it was work, but you know what? I can't complain because I worked with the most wonderful people, and the customers were fantastic too. So Bonita Springs last week, and the 2 weeks before that, I was in Houston for International Quilt Market and Festival. I gave a 3-hour hands-on class at Festival. And you know what? Even one of our attendees here, Mary Johnson Potter, she attends the SCHMETZ Snippet Live, and she was in my Houston Quilt Festival class. So that was a lot of fun to have her in class. So tomorrow I leave for my last official work event that requires a flight. So fingers crossed that Southwest Airlines between here and Detroit and back are on time and not canceled. So far, I've been pretty fortunate. I've had a few trips. 15 minutes delay, I don't consider that to be a problem. So anyway, I'll be flying into Detroit tomorrow because I'm going to the Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. So if you're going to be in the Detroit area, well, I hope you'll be there. I'd love to see you on the show floor. I don't have a booth, but I'll be walking and checking out friends. And I have 2 classes, one on Friday afternoon and one on Saturday morning. So hope you can join me. Last night, I gave a SCHMETZ virtual number 501. So since 2020, since COVID, I've now can say I've given 501 presentations, and most of those have been virtual, but as you know, I'm starting to go in person too. So last night was 501. So that's an easy number to remember. Okay, so let's just scoot along. And let's go over the newsletter. I mentioned that I was in Houston a couple weeks ago for International Quilt Market and Festival, and they have thousands of quilts on exhibit. So in my November newsletter, I pictured my 5 favorite quilts. If you currently do not receive the newsletter, how do you get it? Well, you go to SCHMETZneedles.com, and after about 20 seconds, there's one of those irritating pop-ups that says sign up for the newsletter. If you wait, just go to resources and you can find sign up for the newsletter. So these are the 5 quilts. This one here, oh, that cat and dog, I just loved it because there was so much emotion, so much expression in that quilt between those 2 animals. So it really drew my attention. But like many of you, if you attend International Quilt Market or Festival, you have a chance to vote for your favorite quilt. And I voted for this iris, which is called, hold on, Simple Splendor. Simple Splendor. Oh my goodness, it was just captivating. I think I've seen it before, but this year I voted for it as my favorite or best of show from visitors. Plus, this one here I thought was really interesting. The black and white quilt. It is titled Entrance to the Universe, and it has such a great sense of perspective, just using black and white and gray fabrics. Uh, this other quilt with the ballerina, again, so much movement, fluid movement, and the expression on her face and the muscles in her legs really were captivating. And then finally, I thought this quilt here was quite unusual. It's called Benediction Pray. And what is it? Well, the maker is from Taiwan, and these are carp. These are carp fish, and I don't have the whole story in front of me, but the description was quite interesting. So these were my 5 top choices, or my 5 favorite quilts from Quilt Festival. So I hope that you've had a chance to go to some quilt festivals this fall. So, scooting right along, we're here for the SCHMETZ Snippet Live. My needle point, every month I have a SCHMETZ needle point, and this month it was specifically about the microtex needle. The SCHMETZ microtex needle, which is generically known as a sharp needle. So when your books and patterns say use a sharp needle, well, they're referring to a microtex needle. So the microtex needle has a very slim acute point. Wow, all my lights are going off. So with the microtex needle, you get the most precise stitches. And because the microtex has that very slim acute point, it's going to dull quicker than any other needle type. So be prepared to change out your needle. So tomorrow I'm leaving for the Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. Wait. The other thing I wanted to mention about microtex is we also featured Brianna Roberts. She was using the microtex on a little autumn leaf project. So it's a free pattern that you can download. So you'll just click and it'll go right to either her website or to the video, and you can watch that video. I think it's less than 3 minutes long. So you can learn about the microtex needle and that cute little autumn leaf. So check that out. Okay, so cherry wood fabrics. How many of you like cherry wood fabrics? I do. In fact, last year I bought a bundle of cherry wood fabrics that are in variegated hues of light kind of aqua greens to darker bluish greens. So I've been thinking about how I'm going to stitch that up. But the reason why I bring up Cherrywood Fabrics is because they have their annual Cherrywood Storytime Challenge. So these are the fabrics that you buy from Cherrywood Fabrics, cherrywoodfabrics.com. They're hand dyed, beautiful hand dyed fabrics, and they have the criteria based on a favorite story time book that maybe you grew up with, so that you want to bring into fabric. So check that out. Free Spirit Fabrics also has a challenge that ends November 10th. So you've got 5 days to enter that challenge. So you can go to, you can just click the link for Free Spirit Story Challenge and learn more about that challenge. All right, let's see. Now, I already mentioned that to win today's random giveaway, you need to answer the question, how old is your sewing machine or your machines? Maybe it's a serger, maybe it's an embroidery machine. So there's no right or wrong answer, but just go ahead and let us know how old your machine is. All right, so let's look at today's giveaway. First, I'm going to start with this wonderful Stoff Fabrics, Stoff Fabrics. And this is a knit fabric. And look at these tiny little baby dinosaurs. And I'm thinking, isn't that cute? I know dinosaurs are so popular right now. And it would make a fun little t-shirt or maybe a quilt for a little kiddo. So maybe if you win this, you'll be making something soon with dinosaurs. I have a pattern from Anna Marie. Anna Marie Patterns. We love her fabrics, and I love this coneflower fabric. So this is a free pattern, and then she's got a couple little fat quarters in here also with the pattern. So Kinsey says, oh my gosh, that fabric is so cute. Jennifer says the dragons are so cute. You know, it's kind of hard for me to read the comments as they're popping up, but I'm trying. Pam says that her sewing machine is as old as she is. So congratulations. I have some Tonga treats. So from Timeless Treasures. So these are batik fabrics, and I just love this colorway of green. So Timeless Treasures. I've got from our friends over at Hobbs Batting, I've got the Hobbs Heirloom Batting. This is premium, and this is queen size. So if you're sewing some queen size quilts for the holidays, this could come in quite handy. Amy Berrickman. Amy Berrickman has her new book. This is Love You Two Pieces, and it's a perfect little gift book because it's got quilt projects or sewing projects in here with fun little quotes. So this one says here, you can be my light. Don't we need friends and family and relatives that should be our light? Here's one that says, our shared stories tie us to each other. So nice, fun, simple. Simple, and I need that in the most generous way. Here, this one I thought was cute about losing our hair days. A little doll with no hair or very little hair. So you can find this book now in some of your stores, and you can go to amyberrickman.com, and she has those books also. We've got the Grab It My Pad needle organizer. You know how this works. A great way to organize your slightly used needles by needle type and size. We've got the bobbin saver. You know what? The Grab It Bobbin Saver Square is no longer available in blue. It's available only in red. So if you want blue and you see it in a store, you better buy it right away because blue is we're no longer making blue. I have a variety of Mettler threads because don't we always need more threads? Of course, there's a variety of SCHMETZ needles. I've got them in this handy little SCHMETZ box. I'm not going to take them out, but as you can imagine, there's a pretty nice generous stash here of SCHMETZ needles. I think, if I received this box, I'd want to keep it. This box, actually our industrial needles come in these boxes, and I just say, don't throw them all away. Save some for me as giveaways. So, and from Taylor Seville, we have the flathead patchwork pen. So these are always handy. We know Taylor Seville, their pens are really quite handy. And last but not least, we have, the ever huggable Cuddle fabric from my friends at Shannon Fabrics. And what needle do you use with Cuddle or Minky? Yeah, you're going to use SCHMETZ Stretch 9014. That's going to make a huge difference in your sewing success. So those are the giveaways for today. And to win, you have to answer the question, how old is your sewing machine? Now, there were questions that were posted over the last few days. So let me go ahead and just answer those. Barbara asked, what needle would be appropriate for quilting cotton and foam batting? I'm trying to make an iPad case and using a walking foot, and the fabric is not advancing. I thought maybe it was an improper needle, so I'm starting there with my problem solving. So Barbara, for anytime you're working with some of those foam battings, I always suggest the Super Nonstick Super Universal needle because, let me just show you a picture of that real quick on page 36 and 37. The Super Nonstick Super Universal needle has that anti-adhesive coating. And what happens when you're sewing on that foam? The foam is going to get warm. Not only affecting your needle, but also affecting the bottom of your machine foot. So one of the things you can do is to use the Super Nonstick Super Universal needle. It comes in 4 sizes 70, 80, 90, and 100. So since you're working with foam, I would probably try size 90 14 first. Maybe you have to size down or size up. I don't know how thick your the foam batting is, or even what kind of cotton fabric you're using. So sometimes you just have to experiment, but I would start with that Super Nonstick Super Universal needle. I'll also just mention that this particular needle comes in an assorted needle pack called the vinyl needle pack, and it's brown, looks like vinyl hang card, and it has assorted sizes 70, 80, 90, and 100. Those needles you can find most likely at your sewing machine dealer, whether it's the single size pack or the assorted vinyl pack. It says vinyl, but on the actual little plastic chip, it says Super Nonstick Super Universal. But again, it's in assorted sizes. And again, it'll be mostly your sewing machine dealers that carry that particular product, maybe some of your local fabric or quilt shops might have it. And if they don't have it, just ask them to order it for you. No big deal. Of course, these needles are also available at SCHMETZneedles.com. Okay, so Joanne, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Joanne was asking what machines use needles labeled as HE. HE. So at first, I thought, maybe that was a mistake, but no, HE. So when you look on your little SCHMETZ needle pack, and I'm going to bring this one up here, This is the embroidery needle pack. And on the line that says needle system, it says needle system 130705H-E. So we refer to that as as the needle system. 130/705 means that your home sewing machine needle has a flat shank. A flat shank. 130/705H means that the needle has a flat shank, and the H translates from a German word that means scarf. That's this little indentation that allows the bobbin hook to come up and catch that top thread in order to create the stitch. So on this particular, so if your needle pack says 13705H, oh, you know that you can use that needle in 98% of all of your home sewing machines. When you look at your needle pack a little bit closer, 13705H-E, E for embroidery. On some of your other packs, it might be a -J for jeans, or Q for quilting, or M for microtex, etc. So lots of information on your little needle system line. So HE would be for embroidery. So very good question. Thank you, Joanne. Another question I received, and this was actually last week in Florida in one of my classes, and I thought I knew the answer, but I couldn't really answer with confidence. So I looked it up, and I said, in class, I said, you know what? I will look it up. I'll get the answer, and I'll answer it live here on SCHMETZ Snippet Live. So the question was, is needle system 135X16 available in a non-stick coating? So 135X16 is a very specific needle system that you cannot use on your home sewing machines. It's for very specific machines. So don't even try this on your regular home sewing machine. Mostly that needle system is used for larger, maybe industrial commercial machines. 135X16 has a cutting point. And it's available 4 different ways. It's available with a diamond point, a triangular point, a reverse twist point, or a narrow wedge. But 135X16 is not available with the non-stick coating. So very good question. I'm sorry I didn't know it at the time, but I'm glad that I could look it up and help you out here. All right, so let me just see if there are any other questions that are posted. Okay, so Pam is this a question from Pam? I'm not sure. If a cotton patchwork quilt is backed with cuddle, is stretch needle still recommended, or is there a compromise choice? Very good question. You know what? My first choice would be the stretch needle. If you're working with a cuddle quilt, if you've got a cotton top and a cuddle or minky backing, I would start with the stretch needle. It may or may not work. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to test your needles. So I would start with stretch simply because you're working with that cuddle fabric, specifically with size 90-14. If you don't like the results or your stitch quality, then I'm going to suggest that you start testing different needle types and sizes. A universal 90-14 might work, or a super nonstick super universal needle might work too. So it's always good to have a variety of needles on hand so you can check. Jenny says that SCHMETZ needles work great on all of her vintage machines. Fantastic. Nicole says she loves those Taylor Seville pins. Sheila says that she has a Bernina 1130. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? The machine here that I have in the office is a Bernina 1130, and I had to take it in a couple of weeks ago because while I was sewing, there was problems with the bobbin holder. So it had to go in for maintenance, and they fixed it, and it is sewing beautifully. Oh, and so Sheila said she's had her machines for 36 years. Ellen's had her Bernina 790 Plus is 5 years old. Oh, plus she still has the first machine that she ever purchased in 1964, and it's a Singer Touch and Sew. How many of you remember Touch and Sew? And I'm guessing that Touch and Sew had the little cams. I know when I was growing up, my mom had a Singer machine, and it had the different cams for the different stitches. So that's wonderful. All right, let me see. Sandy loves the my pad needle organizer. Carol said her oldest machine is a Singer 401 from 1956. Yay! But she also has a Baby Lock Ariel from 2022. Jill says she has a sewing machine that's 10 months old. Okay, with all the bells and whistles. Well, congratulations. So let me see if there are any other questions here. All right. Baby dinosaurs. Gail says baby dinosaurs are so cute. Elizabeth says her oldest machine was purchased in 1948, a Singer. And she and her sisters learned to sew on it, and she still uses it. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, a lot of those, oh my gosh, Jenny says she has a Singer treadle that is 114 years old. Do you still use it? Interesting. And she has a 20-year-old Janome. Yeah, yeah. So I also have a Pfaff machine that I love, and that machine is probably about 24, 25 years old. I'll be taking it in for maintenance pretty soon because I love that machine. It makes such beautiful stitches, but I noticed my little reverse button is starting to go a little bit wonky. So fingers crossed that can be fixed. All right. Okay. Okay. So before I announce who the winner is, the winner who answered the question, how old is your sewing machine or your sewing machines? You need to put your answer in the chat. I want to encourage you to sign up for the newsletter. So in the SCHMETZ newsletter that is coming out, we have, a special edition coming out on Friday. Well, special edition. Well, I should reframe that to a special offer that's coming out on Friday. And it is time sensitive. It's available. This special is available only for the weekend until midnight on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So it's a special offer. You're not going to find this in the stores. This is a special, hopefully useful gift that you can either give to yourself or maybe share with a sewing buddy, or maybe you're helping the next generation learn to sew. I think it would be a handy little gift. So you need to get the newsletter. Again, if you don't get the newsletter, go to SCHMETZneedles.com. A pop-up will say, sign up for the newsletter, enter your email, or go to resources, and under resources at SCHMETZneedles.com, there's a link that signs you up for the newsletter. So Friday will be our first of 5 specials that we are offering for the holidays. The offer on Friday will be good until 11:59. Well, I guess that's Saturday night or early Sunday morning, midnight. Oh, wait. No. It ends Sunday night at 11:59. Right. So not through Monday. So until midnight on Sunday. So you'll want to get that. We only have a limited edition of these, limited quantity. So check it out. Then after Thanksgiving, we'll have 4 other newsletters, special offers that email out with special pricing. And I think some of these things, maybe you've had your eye on them for a while, but you just didn't want to pay regular price. So I think you'll be pleased with some of the offerings that we have. And some of them are really shareable with some of your buddies, and some you're just going to want to keep for yourself. So that's from December 1st until, oh, I think about mid-December. The last one goes out, I think December 12th, something like that. Well, we're still working on our marketing plans. So stay tuned. All right, let me see if there are any other questions before I announce the newsletter. Oh, and June says she loves the newsletter. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Teresa says she has a hand crank sewing machine from 1800. Jenny says her treadle is still working, and she's working on a log cabin quilt. And yes, she's using SCHMETZ needles. All right, so let me see who our winner is here today. Our winner is from Missouri, and it is Kinsey Williams. Kinsey Williams, you are our winner today of the random SCHMETZ giveaway. She has a embroidery machine that's about 7 years old. She has a sewing machine that's 4 years old. And, well, she also has a serger that's just old. And that says a lot there. So, Kinsey, to get your prize today, you need to send us an email at info@smetsneedles, all one word.com. Send us your shipping address. So Kinsey Williams from Missouri is our winner today of the random giveaway. And Kinsey, you need to send us an email at info@smetsneedles.com to claim your prize. Oh my gosh, I just see she just responded. She says, thank you. Me and my mom quilt together, so it's a family thing. Bravo. And isn't that the thing about sewing? I don't care what kind of sewing you do, whether it's small crafts, home dec, garments, costumes, quilting. Really, we have the most wonderful sewing community. And I want to say thank you to each of you for using SCHMETZ needles and for being here today. So this is kind of a shorter version here today, and that's okay. Maybe you've got some shopping to do. Maybe you need to sign up for the SCHMETZ newsletter. So get that, and be on the lookout for Friday for your first email blast on one of 5 different specials that we have lined up for you. So okay, everybody, thanks for being here today, and I'll see you next time, which is Wednesday, December 3rd. All right, everybody, so SCHMETZ.